So 16 years out of having prostate cancer, you've been through the gamut of treatments, and now your scans are clear, your PSA is, undetectable, and now you're back trying to go to Bonneville to break a record.
Mm-hmm.
That's really incredible.
Listen, if I don't do it this year, I'll do it next year.
Hi everyone, as you know, I'm Alex with the PCRI, and today I have the honor of being with Bob Alderman. He has an incredible racing history. He's raced sprint cars and all sorts of different things on wheels, and he's going to be able to tell you his story. Now, through PCRI, I get to meet some really incredible people, and he has an extremely inspiring story. He's been through advanced prostate cancer, is getting back in the race cars, and we're just excited to have him here. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
So can you tell the audience a little bit about yourself and your background in racing?
Yeah, I'm 67 years old. I've been racing a long time. I took a break for a while when the family came and the business, so it wasn't a living I was pursuing, but it was a really passionate hobby.
Can you speak to the Amazon race show you were on? I've watched it, the muscle show that you did with all those muscle cars.
Oh, Wrench Horse.
Yes.
Wrench Horse. Yeah, that was totally random. My son and I watched a show called Turn and Burn, and there's a very, very big personality on that show. His name's Brother JD, and he did the show Turn and Burn, and my son and I were kind of addicted to it, and we watched it, and it only had 7 episodes for whatever reason. And they had a marathon one day. So we sat there and we watched all 7 of them. It was like before Christmas. And he bought me a Turn and Burn shirt. So I was wearing it one day, and I was at a client's house. And one of the assistants said, "Where did you get that shirt?" And I went, Brother JD, my son and I, the show, blah, 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 blah. He's my next door neighbor. Wow, that's cool. So she takes a picture. And then later on in the day, I get this text, and we had a conversation. He said, "Listen, I'm doing a new show, and we're going to have, it's like a cage fight. We're filming the first episode Monday night." This was on Friday. "Would you like to be a judge?" So we do the show, and after the show, he comes up and he fist bumps me, and he goes, "Man, you're legit." He goes, "You know what you're talking about." He goes, blah, blah, blah. So 30 shows later, 3 seasons, I'm on 27 shows.
That's so
26
cool.
shows. 26 at 30. I became the resident judge.
So where did your prostate cancer journey start?
I was 49 years old, and I had to have a physical, insurance or something, whatever it was. And they caught it. I had, my PSA was 4.2 or something like that. So I went to my doctor, and my doctor sent me to a oncologist. They did a biopsy, which was awesome. And they saw cancer. I had my surgery on Monday, and I was home Wednesday. Doctor came in on Tuesday and said, "If you can walk a lap around here, that'd be awesome." I said, 15 laps, what's next? And so I went home. And in my mind, in my world, how I think, I was done. So then after that, after the surgery and everything, I went about my life, working, racing, blah, 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 and then it came back.
How many years later did it come back?
I want to say 3 or 4.
After your surgery?
Yes.
And you didn't have any radiation right after the surgery or anything?
I had nothing.
Okay.
That's great.
Did you have any side effects from the surgery?
No. I mean, I was in shape. I was ready, It hurt, it's not easy right before the main event walking into the bathroom and using a catheter, to go to the bathroom. That was kind of rough.
And you knew that you needed radiation, you were going and getting checked up, and your doctor said your PSA is rising, your cancer's back.
I had an incredible urologist. He told me I had to have, listen, you got to have radiation, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay. So did the radiation, and it was long, and I was racing, and I missed one race. I missed a few days of work. Got through that one, was okay. And then I think it was a couple years later, it came back and got real aggressive. I was down for 20 months. I had almost a year and 4 months straight of therapy between chemo, radiation drip, hormone therapy all the time.
So what was your mindset to go through all of that and still have a really passionate, hopeful attitude and even want to get back in the racing seat after all those treatments?
My oncologist that I have now, Sandy Wu, she's amazing. She's at UCLA. At one point I said, okay, what if I don't do anything? And she says, well, that's not going to be good. That's, what you're going to go through and this and that. And don't you want to be at your daughter's wedding? And I have 2 daughters, and I had already been to one wedding. And my youngest one, I'm sure, is going to get married. And I thought, it doesn't matter to me if I'm at their wedding. It matters to them. So then you go, okay, you have to do this.
So you went through the radiation, the chemo, the surgery, the hormone therapy. You were on Xofigo for a while, and that seemed to have a positive effect?
Apparently I have a lot of lesions. My doctor didn't, number them. But, I had, it went to my pelvis, it went to my spine, it went to 3 ribs on one side, 4 ribs on the other side, it went to my shoulder, it went in my neck, and we got out of my lymph nodes, which was amazing. That's some radical radiation. And it wasn't very long later, she called me up and said, are you in pain? I said, no, not in pain. She goes, I got to talk to you. And I went down, and it had spread to my bones and blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay. And she named all the things. I said, how do we know it's not in my brain? And she goes, it doesn't matter, it's the same treatment. So that's the kind of attitude that I have about it.
She wanted you to do hormone therapy?
Yes, right away. And she goes, short time, 6 months, 9 months, and then you're off of it. I said, okay, so I did that, and before the shot and everything, I sat down with her and I said, listen, one thing, you always be honest with me. A team is the most important thing. I just recently had something that was really scary, and I had to go to several different specialists that Dr. Lou sent me to, and she drove that train, and there were things going on that my wife was even going well, and I'm like, I told her, I after everything was over, after everything was good and clean and everything, we're talking about future treatments and stuff, because I guess with stage 4 bone cancer, terminal bone cancer, it always finds a way to come back. I have a hard time with that because when you win, but this is not winning. This is just maintaining. You just need to maintain at a higher level. That's all. You need to change your thinking. You need to build barriers. You need to build walls. You need to understand that they don't understand. You need to do all that stuff. And it's hard when you don't have the proper people in place.
So you went through so many different treatments. And 3 years ago, it all came back. You had to go through radiation, Xofigo, hormone therapy, all these different things. And obviously, now your scans are clean. You said you had a PSMA scan.
I have non-detectable PSA. My PSA has been 0.02 for 4 months straight. My scans are clear. I have scans quite a bit. I don't know what different ones they are, but sometimes they inject stuff in me, sometimes they don't. They're all very nice, and I just hang out. I'm so claustrophobic, it's ridiculous, so I put myself in a different place, I focus highly, and I close my eyes, and I just get in that little tube, and off we go.
You're claustrophobic being a race car driver?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
No, it's horrible.
Oh my God.
When I get in a car, I have to pick something to stare at until I get pushed off or we get going or whatever. But when I'm sitting in a car, I have to pick something on the anywhere.
So you bring that same mindset into the MRI machines and all
Oh
that?
yeah, you just focus. Just okay, we're going to do this, you know.
So what are those conversations like between you and your oncologist when you're talking about those next steps?
When we had the terminal talk, I was kind of shocked. And she goes, well, it's always going to come back. And then she says, all we're doing is suppressing it. And she told me about the 2 treatments, and then she told me about the clinical trial treatment. And it sounded to me like they're an awful lot like chemo. I said, okay, I said, so those are my options. I have options, you know. Yes. Am I going to be sick? Yes. Some people rely on God 100%. Some people rely on their oncologist 100%. Some people, you know, whatever it is, whatever they do, you got to bring it all together and put it in one package. When I kept getting all the good reports, I started working harder, and I worked through it, and that's what I do. That's what I do right now every day. When I don't feel good, I exercise. I force myself. I do something. I don't just. I could sleep for 2 days. I don't want to do that, and I don't think other people really want to do that either. I think they just feel that it's part of the deal, you know. But it's not part of the deal.
So 16 years out of having prostate cancer, you've been through the gamut of treatments. And now your scans are clear, your PSA is, you know, undetectable. Mm-hmm. Still going to 0, but undetectable, still going for that. And now you're back trying to go to Bonneville to break a record. Mm-hmm. That's really incredible.
Listen, if I don't do it this year, I'll do it next year.
That's awesome.
You know, I have kids, I have grandkids, I have a wife who's my best friend. I mean, I'm blessed with the passion I have for being competitive, for being a racer. Right. I'm not a ball guy, I never was. I've been able to transfer that. I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know you could take one focus and one passion and take it from here and put it into something entirely different.
So what is your advice to newly diagnosed patients who have just found out they have prostate cancer?
When you get diagnosed with that prostate cancer, the first thing you need to do is go to several different doctors and get several different opinions and research what they want to do. There's all kinds of different treatment. When prostate cancer is first discovered, it's either a prostatectomy, a radical prostatectomy. It's seeds, it's radiation, it's whatever treatment fits the ill at the time, and you never settle, ever, you know. And when it gets to the point where you absolutely have to do something, you'll be educated. You'll know. You know, oh my God, my PSA is 4.0, I gotta get prostatectomy. I'm going in next Thursday. You know, and I've talked to guys like that. I have friends' brothers and stuff like that, and it was just this, nope, straight line. Hang on a minute, man. Why don't you do this, this, and this? Oh no, I got a great doctor. I know, this guy's the best doctor. They're all the best cancer doctors in the planet, every one of them. Oh no, this guy's the best guy in Westlake Village. This guy's the best guy in you know, whatever. How do you know he's best for you? You know, and it's really important. The doctor is absolutely key. And I would have had a different journey had I listened to certain people.
Well, Bob, thank you so much for sharing your story. It's extremely inspirational to us at PCRI, and it's the stories that we love to hear because, you know, we talk a lot about treatments and scans and thinking about prostate cancer as a chronic disease, but it's so different talking to a prostate cancer patient who has been through all that. And the fact that you're here years later after your diagnosis is such an inspiration to so many other people who are newly diagnosed. And being, you know, diagnosed with any sort of cancer is very scary, but to put a face behind it and somebody who's still, you know, going in those cars, you're going to Bonneville to go break a record, you're living your life, you're getting back into what you love to do, and you're here to share your story with everybody else. That is awesome. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I mean, if just one person listens, you know, it'll be worth my fight.